For the past 2 years, I've lived with roommates. And as a creative person, I've always said that if I don't want to be like everybody else, then I probably shouldn't live like everybody else. And I think that includes the room where I actually live. Most videos I've made have been in this room with that backdrop. And most of the videos I've made have been about some topic or some interesting thing that I find interesting. And so in this video, I just wanted to show you what in the world my room looks like, because I am in the one point in life where I've just experienced the one point in life where I've been single, I've had a room to myself, I've had roommates, I have everything accounted for, and I get to be creative. I have time in my schedule to be creative. And so this is how I designed my room in order to, number one, be creative, and number two, be cheap. Because there's a lot of things that you won't see in this room. You won't see nice furniture. You won't see cool LED lights. You won't see a bunch of trinkets and doodads from TikTok shop. You won't see decorated walls with cool decor that is something you would find on Amazon under cool decor for 20-year-old guys. You won't find that because that costs money and it's something you're going to get rid of anyway. And no matter how much work you put, it's not going to look as cool as it did online. And so my thought was, what if I went really cheap? And what if I was very creative? What if I did the 1 to 2 things that you can never do in a real home? So this is my room. First off, my favorite part is the mood board. This mood board is cool, and it just looks cool. And that's really all that matters. Basically, it's not a very essential part of the creative process, because the creative process is a lot more using your hands or using your computer. And so this is just a way to represent it, and it looks cool. And so I enjoyed designing it and haven't touched it too much. So I won't go too much into detail, but each of the big cards are a movie idea. And then the red yarn goes from the movie ideas I'm gonna write within the next 5 to 10 years. And they go to an area that's mapped out and has some visuals or a cool idea or more information on the note card. So it stretches different movie pockets in different areas. There's also just random stuff on the board from cool ideas from watching a movie or just interesting thoughts. And then the rest of the wall, it's not all movie ideas. There's a budget. There's keeping track of all the things I learned in 2025. There is just cool quotes that I've written down. There are future ideas, and there's just stuff on the wall because it looks cool. And if you have it, why would you keep it in a notebook when you could tape it on the wall? Speaking of books, these are my books. You could have a bookshelf, or you could just stack them like that because it is cheaper than buying a bookshelf and moving a bookshelf. And then you don't have to get rid of the bookshelf when you get married. Sometimes there's a lot more, sometimes there's a lot less. I bought a lot during last Christmas and got a few more at the bookstore. And so there's more books currently. Over here is the gratitude wall. I've talked a lot about it in recent videos. And the gratitude wall started with a single little sticky note right here. And it just slowly expanded and got bigger and got bigger and got bigger. And it's a great decoration. Maybe next time I will choose a more consistent color scheme, but I didn't expect it to go that far and that long. I keep my bed extremely simple. This is just a big map I had from college, so might as well throw it up there because it takes up space. And then over here, I was looking for something to fill up the spot of the room, and I also am a big fan of Lost. And one of the episodes, episode 3, season 1, is one of my favorites and has inspired me a lot as a writer. So I went ahead and just printed it out and taped it on the wall, at least the first 13 pages. So when I'm writing at my desk in the morning and I have my laptop out and I get bored or can't remember how to do something or just get stuck, I just look up and see some phrase or some line from a master like Damon Lindelof and I get inspired or I copy it, whatever is easier. Over here you have the board. Creatives in the film industry have a shorthand called the board, and the board is a way to break down your film ideas. And I use it sometimes. That helped for this idea, but it's been up there since September and I haven't used it since. But it looks cool, and it's a board, and it's on the wall, so I might as well use it. And then over here are my spiritual side of things. So there's sermon notes, because I never look at sermon notes, so might as well paste them on the wall and then you'll stare at them. There's cool quotes from books. There is, just interesting Bible verses that have been influential at certain points in life. And so they're all taped there, and when I'm getting ready in the morning, I'll stare at them. So that is an overview of a room. But one thing you'll notice is that there's a lot of things that are not here. So for example, there is not a TV. This is a computer monitor because it's cheaper. There's not a lot of electronics. There's no phone charger. There's just not a lot of electronics, because you don't need them. If you're planning to be creative and do something with your life, then it makes sense to do something with your life and be creative. Then you've got the whole floor. You can lay on the floor, you can read on the floor, you can work on the floor, you can do exercises in the floor. You can take a nap in the floor. There's a lot of things you can do in the floor. So I like to keep it open and keep as little furniture and as little doodads and as little trinkets as possible. The goal is to be somewhat minimalistic, not because it looks cool, even though it does look kind of cool, but because minimalism makes sure that you don't have anything cluttering your life. Because there could be a lot of things that you have, and there could be a lot of things in here. And the more books you have, the more guilty you are that you aren't reading them. The more technology you have, the more you have to use that technology. Even something as simple as these headphones are pretty nice. I enjoy my headphones when I need them, but the more you have stuff, the more you're expected to use stuff. And so this was my one point in life where I had free reign, and I could have tried to buy a bunch of stuff and make it look like a cool, post-college room, or I could turn it into something useful and try something new. And so I have no idea what you think of it. You may be thinking this is the dumbest looking room in the world. The best thing in the world, only like 3 people have ever seen this room, because I'm the only one in this room. And my roommate passes by outside, and that's about it. You can do whatever you want with your room, and it can be inspiring if you're a creative, or it can be really boring and bland and be like everybody else. So I'll just end the video the way I started. If you want to be like everybody else, then have a room like everybody else. But if you don't want to be like everybody else, then don't live like everybody else.